Hello everyone, this is AgriupVideos and the topic for today's video is Urea Gold. In this topic, we will be talking about urea and the consumption of urea as a fertilizer in the Indian markets, the features of this, and then we'll be talking about the status of the consumption, urea consumption in India, particularly focusing on the interventions which are similar to Urea Gold, like neem coated urea, etc. Then we will be talking about the way forward, which is planned, followed by the questions which are asked in exams with their answers subsequently. So let's talk about the background. Where did this come from? Initially, we know we if it comes to a plant which is not healthy, we just have one name. Either it is a person who is educated in that field, not educated in that field, anyone if you ask, you will just need to hear urea word that please put urea in the field. So why has this risen? We'll be talking in the later picture, but because of every answer which is stuck with urea word, that if there is any deficiency, put urea in any form. So this is causing the imbalanced fertilization, followed by the decreased nitrogen use efficiency and the crop yield declining, because if a field is not in the need of that urea or nitrogen for that matter, the field needs suppose phosphorus and you are supplying nitrogen to it. In that case, the field is deficient in the phosphorus component, but excess of nitrogen will also cause harm to the plant as well as the field. So this is the picture that we talk about. Now, Indian government has come up with various projects and plans so that there is a balanced fertilization in the field. There are many initiatives being taken, neem coated urea being the first one, which was started in 2015. We'll be talking about this in the subsequent coming slides. Further, the government cut within introduction of, initially the urea was coming in 50 kg bags. So as a farmer is seeing another farmer or is being told by the people that you put urea in the field, farmer is taking a 50 kg bag and is initially and wholly consuming the 50 kg even if it is not required in the field. So government has understood this concern and then introduced 5 kg lesser with 45 kg variant as a urea bag which is available in the market. Then IFCO came up with the idea of nano urea in 2021, and the first nano urea plant was inaugurated in Kalol in Gujarat. There are many measures being taken. We'll be all discussing about them in the further coming slides. Now, what is the impact of these measures being taken? Is there any effect? Because urea consumption is too much in the fields, but is with small initiatives like this, is impact being created? So initially the use of this neem coated urea, it led to a dip in the consumption, making urea difficult to be used in the non-agricultural purposes because it was being used in a varied range of products to say altogether. Now, however, the trends reversed in the coming years of 1819. Initially, the project came up in 2015. Urea sales increased before the introduction of the subsidy scheme, which was nutrient-based subsidy. I have a separate video on the subsidy. You can check and refer to that for knowing about this subsidy scheme. Now, Urea Gold, as the name is indicating, what is the base of the scheme? Rashtriya Chemical and Fertilizer Limited, which is called as the RCF, which is a leading fertilizer and chemical manufacturing company in India. This is a public sector company. They created this urea with sulfur, creating a composite fertilizer, which is to be called as Urea Gold. What is this a blend of? This is a blend of 37 percentage of nitrogen, 17% of sulfur. You can remember it like 7 is similar, 3 is nitrogen, and 1 is sulfur. You can memorize it this way. The nutrient blend is having two main objectives. One, fulfilling the sulfur requirements of the soil and improving the nitrogen use efficiency. This will also help to enrich the soil with sulfur. Field is also being provided with the sulfur. There is more economical and efficient use of this scheme, and adding to reduced input cost of the farmers because they had to supplement another uh, material in terms of sulfur. Then extension of the subsidy till 2025. Normal urea is having 46% of nitrogen. Even if it is not required by the plant, it has to be consumed. But in this case, the nitrogen content is less compared to the normal urea which is available in the market. Now, why is urea a dominant fertilizer, or why is there is a hue and cry about this fertilizer being the most prominent one? So there are a few favorable characteristics which this urea has. One, it is widely used because it is a very important source of nitrogen, which is a very essential nutrient for the plant growth. And instant effects can be seen if the field is being sprayed with the urea or is being sprinkled with the urea. The color entirely changes. The color is already a leafy green color. Or if it is being done in terms of vegetables also per se, so the color or the kind of yield a farmer is getting with this farm, because it is an essential nutrient, it becomes a very, very targeted thing to be used in the field and dominate the industry. Second, it is readily available and affordable nitrogen source for the farmers, making it a very popular choice. Third, it is good for storage and the transportation, making it convenient for both the farmers and the manufacturers, because 50 kg bags or 45 kgs bags as now are available. So these are being transported and can be stored easily. So that is also being served. Then it is a versatile fertilizer that can be applied to wide range of crops and varied ranges of soils. So there is no bar that it cannot be used. It can be used in a loamy soil, not in an alluvial soil. No such kind of effect is seen. Now, there are few features that this urea gold avails. One, it addresses the soil deficiencies, the crucial deficiencies, sulfur crucial deficiencies, which come up in oil seeds and pulses particularly. Second, it helps to enhance the nitrogen efficiency by improving the nitrogen use efficiency in the crops. Third, it has the potential to improve the yield, to increase the yield, and to minimize the wastage and the nutrient take to be enhanced. Then it is a package kind of a deal, wherein a comprehensive nutrient package is serving and catering the crops which are reliant on sulfur. Then prolonged nutrient availability, like sulfur coating on the urea, will enable a gradual release of urea nitrogen, instead of the case where urea was dumped in the field and it was being volatilized and being readily used up within few minutes or seconds. But here in this case, because it is coated with sulfur in a way, so the release will become slow and the effect will be good and prolonged. Now, what is the status of urea consumption in India? Okay, now we'll be talking about this. So, urea is a white crystalline powder which is commonly a synthetic fertilizer in the Indian industry and agriculture. When it is applied to the soil, it gets broken down by the enzymes into ammonia and carbon dioxide. Now, this gets converted into ammonium ions, which are taken up by the plant roots, which are used for the growth and development. First of all, you need to understand the process. What is the entire process all about? This is the process. Now, talking about the status, if we say urea in India is most widely used fertilizer with consumption or sales, if we say, to be between 35.7 metric tons between 22 and 23. This is all India used fertilizer. This data is about urea. This one is about DAP, about MOP, about NPKs, about SSP. You can see the maximum contributor of the all is urea, leading even in 2022 and 23 data as well. Process, what is the process? I have explained it here. What happens, how it happens, we have seen it off. Now, what are the interventions which are similar to urea gold? Because you should be knowing also not just about this urea gold, but also some other initiatives. Like we talked about one initiative called as the neem coated urea. What is this? In this, simply neem coated urea, okay, urea is being coated with the neem oil. Simple, very simple. Mandatory for the domestic producers now to produce 100% urea as neem coated urea. This is mandate now. Okay. Second point. Third point, neem coating on urea. What happens with this coating is that there is a very slow release of nitrogen. It helps to reduce the nitrogen leaching down and the volatilization, which I already talked in the previous one, leading to an improved nitrogen use efficiency by the plants. Okay. Next point, it has insecticidal and nematocidal properties because of this neem in it, or neem oil in it, and it improves the soil texture and helps in the water holding capacity. So altogether, it is a whole package where urea is coated with neem oil and the process goes on. Okay. Now, next we have the liquid nano urea. This came up by IFCO in 2022 to replace the conventional urea and reduce the requirement by 50%. Here, nanotechnology is being used. Okay, and the basis of the fertilizer is all this nanotechnology which is available, and spraying on the leaves happen, and the assimilation that stays on the plant cell, which provides the nutrition through the fine granules, and these fine granules they help to improve the efficiency, quality, productivity, reducing the consumption of the fertilizer, improving the efficiency, and also saving on the input cost. So this is all about the various interventions which are kind of similar to urea gold. So you should be knowing about all three of them. One is a neem coated urea, where neem oil is being coated on this urea. Then second is the liquid nano urea. This came up wherein nanotechnology is being used, because what happens actually is that while a farmer is in the field, they have a bag of 50 kg. They pull out the 25 kg or 10 kg or 15 kg. They hang it onto their shoulders, and then they start spraying in the field. Some places, the patches or the content that goes on increasing, and in some patches, the availability of the urea is extremely low. And what is the negative point here is that, which I already took up here when I had a discussion over this point, that this is a fertilizer which gets volatilized, because of which what happens is that availability time or the tenure in which the consumption has to be done, that gets reduced. So this is a very good initiative to help in this way ahead. What is the way forward that we have? One is that fortification. This is a way to boost the crop yield and maximize the efficiency. Second is the precision agriculture, because techniques like this, along with the various other techniques with variable rate of applications and different technologies altogether, this is already giving a bloom and will give a bloom definitely in the coming periods of time. Then nutrient management planning, crop rotation and diversification, and subsidy reforms. All of this is a way forward for this system of whole fertilizer industry and all the practices associated with that. Also, we are using the precision agriculture like the technologies of variable rate technology, remote sensing, yield monitoring, data collecting, auto steering, GPS and everything. So this is a coming future which is being shown here. Next, we have is the questions which are asked in the exams. So, one question I have for you is, why does the government of India promotes the use of neem coated urea? Question was asked in 2016's paper. So you have four options here. One, release of neem oil in the soil increases the nitrogen fixation by the microbes. Neem coating slows down the rate of dissolution of urea in the soil. Nitrous oxide, which is a greenhouse gas, is not released in the atmosphere by the crop field. Or next, it is a combination of a weedicide and a fertilizer of a particular crop. So which one will you choose? Second, with the reference of the chemical to the chemical fertilizers in India, consider the following statements asked in 2020. At present, the retail price of the chemical fertilizer is market driven and not administered by the government. Second, ammonia, which is an input of urea, is produced from natural gas. Third, sulfur, which is a raw material of phosphoric acid fertilizer, is a byproduct of the oil refineries. So I hope you have marked your answers now. Let's talk about the answers now. So first one, why does the government of India promote the use of neem coated urea? Obviously, neem coating slows down the rate of dissolution of urea in the soil. Has to be the definite answer for this. Second question, first one is absolutely wrong, because it is all driven by government, taken care of absolutely. What options are we left with? This is gone, this is gone. These two options are there. We need to only check with the third one. Sulfur, which is a raw material of phosphoric acid, is a byproduct of oil refineries. Yes, it is. So the answer will be 2 and 3. Second is also correct. along with a third one. I hope you like the content. If you like the content, then do subscribe to this channel. If you have any views, comments, I would love to hear from you. You can